There's a special breed of friend which I particularly despise, and I like to call them the transactional conversationalists. As you know, the world has many different currencies, and conversation has many different types. The thing about these types of friends is you will be able to tell that they are only interested in one type of conversation. For example, we all have that friend who is only interested in the conversation when boys are mentioned, or that friend that only happens to be present when people are talking about drama. And anything else, they're visibly not engaged in conversation. These types of people will not accept any other currency, and it almost feels like a transaction. They're not here to enjoy their time with you. They're here to obtain something from you. Whether it's connections, information about boys, drama, all of these are examples of the types of currencies of conversation that these people will only be interested in. If you want to talk about something else, if you just want to have small talk, these guys will disengage. They won't be unpleasant, but they will definitely not be actively interested. And those types of people I find are extremely draining. The thing is, if I'm around a transactional conversationalist who only values getting drama and hearing about tea, then when I hang out with them, I will feel obligated to feed them drama or talk about tea, all in order to give something valuable for them to listen to. And a friendship or relationship where you're always trying to prove that what you are saying is valuable or worth taking note of, that is not a relationship that you should be pursuing.
If you can't handle the truth, please keep scrolling. These are the top 5 red flags of your besties. And if you have some of these traits, you may also be the red flag. All right, you're still here, so let's get into it. Number 1, boy crazy. Everything I'm mentioning in this video is on a spectrum, so you're either really low in this or really high in this. If your bestie is boy crazy, every conversation you have with them eventually leads back to men. Their life revolves around men. They are obsessed with both male attention and being in a relationship. They will prioritize their romantic relationships over their friendships, so once they get a partner, you may not see them until 2075. Most likely, they have pick-me energy, and they will throw you under a bus for a man in a heartbeat. Next up, we have the victim. The victim always needs to be saved. She's the queen of sob stories, and something is always going wrong in her life. She's gonna need to lean on you at all times. The victim is never in control of their life. And when you investigate their story sometimes, you're like, that could have been prevented. The victim is very stubborn. And no matter what advice you give them, they will never listen to it. They will never grab the bull by the horns. And instead, you're going to be left frustrated as hell. If you're empathetic, you may feel bad for the victim, but they may also turn into an energy vampire who calls you and leans on you at all times. And even if you were at a high, by the time you get off the phone with them, you at a low. The truth of the matter is they are addicted to being the victim, and there's nothing you can do about it. This one is very triggering to me. This is the red flag of opportunistic. The opportunistic bestie is friends with you for a reason. They are looking for the next come up through people. These people are very shallow, and they will abandon you for the next person for whatever reason. Be someone that has more money than you, someone they think has more social status, someone that they think just has something, and they will latch on to the next person. These people are cold, and there are no real emotional connections with them, but boy, do they know how to turn on the charisma and the charm when they need to. They have people in a hierarchy in their minds. They are obsessed with people's careers and jobs, and they're very, very much focused on leveling up, but it will come to a detriment. This person will step or stomp on your head to get to where they're going with no hesitation. Number 4 is Little Miss Me, Myself, and I. I'm all for self-love and self-care, but this person takes it to another level. They are first, second, and third in their life. Is she narcissistic? Hell yes. Does she love you? You don't know. You will pretty much be a glorified assistant in this relationship. Will she remember your birthdays, your kids' names, most details about you? Hell no. This relationship is very one-sided, and she will expect you to do a lot of things for her. You could be on the phone with her for 2-3 hours. She won't ask you one question about yourself. If you have this friend in your life, you need to probably go into therapy, counseling, or being an assistant, because at least you could get paid for your services, sis. Saving the best for last, this is the finale. We have bad mind. Bad mind is a Jamaican word, yes, I'm Jamaican, which describes someone who's malicious, competitive, wishing horrible things on you, very jealous, and they keep it on the low. This friend is the ultimate hater, and the easiest way to actually spot them is through their hateration, because they will be hating on a lot of people. They may say things like, why do they get so much attention? Why do they get so much love on social media? Why do they think they're so cute? Something of that sort. Everyone rubs them the wrong way. Remember, if they can't feel good things for other people, they can't feel good things for you. This person is plotting on your demise. They are competing with you. They are not wishing you well, and they keep you close so they can spy on your life. This is the most toxic red flag there is. If they feel you pulling away, they will be upset. They will say you changed up. They will not like you glowing up, growing up, doing anything to level up. It's all a threat to them. Bad mind is present in a lot of movies where a friend ends up the other friend. Yeah. These things happen in real life. They happen on screen. They are threats to your survival, your success, your secrecy, anything you have going on. Cut them off like cancer. Get rid of them. Don't feel bad about it, and make sure you do it quickly. This concludes the top 5 red flags. Let me know if I should do part 2.
It's absolutely heart-wrenching when you're talking to your friend and all of a sudden you realize, ooh, this friend is not on my team. They're not rooting for me. They don't want what's best for me. There's gonna be that slight competition vibe that's always there, and you can't fully trust them. I feel like that's the worst feeling you could ever get.
Because why do we all have that one friend that's like constantly heartbroken, but also is like talking to 20 different guys?
Unpopular opinion, but that type of friend is literally the most exhausting and toxic friend to be around. I had a friend like this once, and let me tell you, being friends with someone like that, you will never be a priority for them because it's always going to be a guy. Every single motive they have, every single reason they want to do something is because of a guy. One of two things is going to happen every time you hang out with this friend. You guys had plans for weeks, it's something really exciting, but he just texted her 2 minutes before you're about to leave. Yeah, she's not going to that dinner. She's going to go hang out with him. She'll probably make up some excuse how she's going to make it up to you, but trust me, she's not going to. The second scenario that's going to happen is, say you guys are all going out for drinks, you just got a huge promotion at work, or you got your dream job, whatever it is. She's gonna go be heartbroken about the 14th guy that week, and the whole entire dinner is going to be about her, like it always is. I change the subject, or maybe there's one time where actually you're heartbroken for once, and you want to vent to her about it because you're always listening to her vent. Somehow it'll always revert back to her, and it'll never be about you. Don't even get me started on when said ex walks into the bar when you guys were having a fun night. She'll immediately make you leave the bar. And this is going to happen every single week with a different guy. My friendship with this person actually ended over a guy, ironically, as well as a couple other things built up, but that's a story for another time. So no hate towards that girl, like you do you. Also, when you're young, things happen. But where I'm at now, I do not tolerate this behavior anymore.
One thing I will never do again is befriend insecure people. And no, it's not just because they're probably secretly jealous of you and hope to see you fail. Although that's a valid reason, it's actually deeper than that. I would say that when you befriend insecure people, there is like a 90% chance that they're going to fuck you over because they want validation and they want to be liked so badly that a lot of times it'll be at the cost of your friendship. For example, if you are friends with someone who is desperate to be liked and you run with a similar group and your name comes up in conversation, they probably won't defend you. They probably will go along with whatever shit those people are talking about you because they want those people to like them. And that's also the reason why you can't trust them, because you know they'll be the first person to spill your secrets just for the small chance that these people will like them more. These people are also unreliable because if you have plans with them, if someone else invites them to something that they deem better or cooler, yeah, they're going to ditch you. There's this quote, "A friend to all is a friend to none." And these people want to be friends with everyone because they just need to be liked. Their ego needs it. A problem is though that these people you wouldn't exactly know how insecure they are until they enter your fold. Like, until you guys actually become close, you're not going to realize what kind of person they are. They're usually going to do something that I just listed, and that's what's going to let you know that they're not a good friend to you. But there are still other ways you can figure it out. Like, by hanging out with them, you can listen to the way they talk about other people in their lives, and if they have other friends in their lives, or they're constantly just hopping around. Sucks is, I never even end up hating these people. I kind of end up feeling sorry for them, because based on experiences with myself and other people in their lives, I've seen the way they did have genuine friends, people who actually liked them for themselves, but then they dropped them because they wanted to be cooler. The reason I feel so confident in this assertion is because for a time in my life, probably late teens, early 20s, I was that person. I lost some good friends because I was so desperate for that validation. And knowing how I was, looking back at some of the things I did to people, I would not want to be friends with myself either, because the people you want to be friends with are self-assured, confident, people that you know will have your back. If you are insecure about your social status and you want to be liked, just know that it really doesn't matter. All you need is a few good people who will genuinely fuck with you. The rest are irrelevant. That's why the most honest question you can ask yourself with full self-awareness is whether or not you are genuinely the type of person you would want to be friends with.
You cannot be friends with insecure people or people who are not actively working on their insecurity.
I know it's very hard to believe, but having insecure friends in your life will literally drain you and have you questioning your whole entire life just based on their insecurities being projected onto you. Now, of course, we all have our insecurities, right? We all have our insecurities, but the key word is you have to be working on those insecurities so that way you aren't pushing them onto other people, right? When you are, that's like having people who are negative and mean, like their negativity will start to just rub off onto you, and if you don't get away from those people, then you'll just be doing the same thing. Now, here's 3 signs that you can have an insecure friend or friends in your life. Number 1 is avoidance, right? A friend who is struggling with their insecurities will typically avoid situations. They tend to cancel all the time. They cancel last minute because they're worried about how they're going to be perceived. And they're just never coming around, right? They might make excuses for not having money, but typically that can be a sign of insecurity. Second sign might be your friend is constantly interrupting you while you're talking, right? So y'all talking about whatever, you're telling your story, you're talking about your day, whatever, and they're constantly interrupting because they are so worried about what about me? They can't even take in what you're saying, right? They have to like, what about me? What about me? Kind of like feeling forgotten because I'm insecure in myself, that I got to just make sure that you know where I stand, who I am. You know, that's another sign. So the third and final sign of possibly having an insecure friend is their competitiveness, right? So that you might find them asking you questions like, girl, what you doing? How much you make it work? What is this? What is that? Right? It might come off like they're just trying to be interested in your life, but they could really be trying to get information from you to find ways to compare themselves and like have one up on you, right? So you talking about how good your day was, how good of a job you did, or how much of a raise you got. They want to take that in and then say to you, well, I make more than that. Well, when I got my raise, they gave me this or whatever like that. So that competitiveness comes from a place of I'm so insecure with myself and what I have going on that I'm just trying to compete and compare myself to you because I don't feel good about myself. So I'm constantly comparing and I'm constantly competing with the next woman who is my friend because I'm not where I want to be. And unfortunately, like I said, having insecure friends in your life or people in your life just in general, that starts to rub off on you. And having people who are insecure, they start to have you doubting yourself. They'll give you bad information because they're not insecure. So they don't want you to be so confident. They don't want you to be moving on. So they'll have you talking about chasing your dreams one second. Next minute, you'll be doubting your dreams, right? You're not ready to jump out on faith because that insecure friend has then rubbed onto you and it's projected onto you, and now you are struggling in the same exact way. So as I said, we're not saying that as soon as you get a sign that your friend is insecure, you just ditch them. No. But if you know they're insecurity and they're not trying to work on it and you're constantly having to pull out of yourself to like motivate them or lift them up, if they're not trying to do that for themselves, actively working on changing that insecurity in whatever way they can, then you have to reevaluate what that friendship is and what it looks like and the direction of that friendship, right? Having insecure friends or people in your life really can determine what things look like in the future, you know? So
Keep that in mind, y'all.
I feel like this is gonna sound mean, but being friends with an insecure girl can be one of the worst experiences. Specifically, insecure girls who really crave male attention. The issue is they will always be in a competition with you. It doesn't matter like how pretty they are, how much they have, they will always want to tear you down and take from you. I dealt with this one girl who I thought was a really close friend. We were friends for like 4 years, I think. And at first it wasn't very noticeable because I literally looked up to her. I was like, wow, she's so pretty and she has everything. Everybody likes her, she's smart. And it wasn't until years later, after I finally cut her off, that I realized how toxic she was. So we usually hung out in a group of 3, and the first red flag was whenever the other girl had a crush and she expressed it, this girl would immediately start pursuing that guy, even though she had no connection to him prior. The other friend only ever had crushes on guys that she was already friends with, but this other girl had no connection to him until her friend was interested in him, and then all of a sudden she's messaging him. She actually ended up dating 3 of those guys that my friend had a crush on. The other friend just was like, okay, whatever. I think the other friend valued the friendship more than a guy, so she wasn't like willing to let a guy get in between their relationship. Anyway, I never really expressed interest in dating to her because, I mean, look at the way she acts. I also wasn't really interested in dating at the time, like it was just not a priority for me. One day she asked me about this and I said, I haven't really felt the need to date. And after that, she went around speculating about my sexuality. I remember there was this one guy who she thought was really cute, and one day he told her he thought I was cute. I was not interested in this guy at all. This actually really upset her, and she came to me and said like, I think it's so funny that he thinks you're cute. That made me feel really bad about myself because I was like, oh, she thinks I'm ugly. She thinks that it's funny that somebody would find me cute. And that's where you can really see our perceptions were different, because while she valued so much how men perceived her, I really valued her opinion. So her telling me that affected me more than him saying that I was cute. She would always be trying to compete with me. This goes for everything, like even career path, like classes I was taking. Like no matter what, she was always in a competition with me. And it was so exhausting. It's like she was always trying to prove to herself that she was better than me, prettier than me. Looking back, I do wonder why I stayed friends with her for so long. There's really only so much you can take from a friendship. And she's one of those dangerous types of friends who tears apart your confidence. And that's why I've sworn off being friends with insecure girls who care too much about what men think.
You cannot be friends with an insecure person because to them, everything is a competition. To them, everything is comparable. So if you're in a relationship or you're doing good in your life or you have a good career change, they will never be happy for you. They will never support you, especially if they're not doing better than you. If they're not doing better than you, they will find a way to spin it, to make it negative, to make your accomplishments minimized, to make it sound like it's not as good or as amazing as it should be. And the worst kind of insecure friends is the type of person that is going to try to sabotage your good things in life, your successful things in life, your happy things in life. The saying misery loves company is absolutely true, and if they see that you are not as miserable as them, they will do everything in their power to sabotage the things that make you happy so that you are as miserable as they are. They will do their best to try to talk you out of doing something good for yourself or to be happy for yourself, whether it is going towards an opportunity that is career facing or even going towards a relationship that is healthy and abundant for you. They will do everything in their power to get you to self-sabotage yourself and to walk away from something that could potentially be groundbreaking for you and healing and towards growth and success. And the best way to figure out these friends is to really listen to what they have to say. When you share something with them, whether it is positive, negative, or even neutral, how quick are they to really flip it and make it really negative? How quick are they to make themselves feel superior and compare their own experience to yours? How quick are they to praise themselves in a similar situation in order to minimize yours? And the most important thing, how quick are they to make you feel horrible about the choices that you make in your life, even though the results are successful? Be smart out there, you guys. And as always, I love you all. Have a blessed day. And I will talk to you soon. Ta-ta!
You need to get rid of your insecure friends immediately, and I'm gonna tell you why. 9 times out of 10, they will end up being jealous of you and then make your life a living hell. If you're the type of person that walks in a room and commands attention and most people say they're either intimidated by you or they were scared of you, but for some reason they can never leave you alone, do not befriend these people. You have something that they want but cannot have. You have confidence, you have done the inner work, you know who you are, and when you walk in a room, you command it. 9 times out of 10, this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna say, oh my gosh, when I first met you, I was so intimidated by you, but you're so cool and I wanted to be your friend. And then you become friends with them. And then they start leeching off of your energy. They start leeching everything that you have about yourself. And they start to try to mimic you and take it as their own. They basically try to become a carbon copy of you. Once you get close, you'll start telling them some insecurities that you have. What they're gonna do is use those insecurities to push you down and to build themselves up. And then next thing you know, you went from being the friend that was so confident, you could walk in a room and everyone knew not to mess with you, they respected you, to being the joke of the class because now everybody knows your business. If you do not have friends that are willing to do the same inner work that you are, and they're willing to just stay where they're at, run.
When will you guys realize that women that are fully obsessed with men are shit friends? They're gonna do you dirty, they're gonna put you in terrible situations for male validation, and they're genuinely just not great girlfriends. They have no morals when it comes to friendship. They don't care about like girl code. They just, their entire life and like their whole goals are just set on getting male validation and getting male attention and just being with a man constantly. I'm bringing this up because I've had previous friendships that I've had to cut off because of this. But also, a little quick story time. So my friend last night went out with this girl who we both know, but I've just kind of distanced myself because at this point I can quickly see what type of woman you are. And as soon as I like notice that weird obsession with men, I don't even bother. I'm good. But anyways, she's a little more forgiving, I guess. I don't really know, but she didn't really care for that. So she stayed friends with her. And last night, those two girls decided to go out together, right? Just the two of them, mind you, two. So if you leave with two, you come back with two, right? Of course, I already kind of figured this would happen, and I told the girl, but she was just like, oh, but she's nice, like, da-da, and I was like, okay, it's okay. I'm not trying to start a hate train, I'm just letting you know, like, that's the type of vibe I'm getting. But my friend decided to stay friends with her, right? So they go out together last night, just the two of them, and at 2 a.m. I'm getting a call, and my friend is crying, and she's like, you will not believe what this girl did to me, you will not believe the jokes she cracked about me in front of men. You'll not believe all this shit she did. And now I'm Ubering home by myself because she left with one of the guys. Yeah, so isn't that crazy? I'm not even on the I told you so type of energy. It's just like, I knew it. I literally know when women are weirdly obsessed with men and they put their friends in weird situations and they don't even consider you a friend. They just consider you like a little pawn that they can just play around with just for Joseph to, you really like her, I guess. I don't know. It's so stupid. I really don't understand it. But this is why I say be selective with your friends and understand when girls have zero goals other than men, when they call you, all they're talking about is their men issues. These women are genuinely insane. Like they need help. They need help. At this grown-ass age of 20 years old, and this is the shit you're on, you have no goals, you have no job, you literally just, all you care about is men. So moral of the story is, as a woman, I feel like you should be selective with the people that you're friends with already, but especially be selective with girls that just revolve their entire world around men. Girls that literally will put you in uncomfortable or even dangerous situations, in this case for men. And now my friend's heartbroken because she's like, how could you do that to me? Like, how could she do that to me? And I'm just like, because that's all they care about is getting some penis. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I promise you it's not worth it. And if you're like me and you're like, oh, I can just help this person, like if they find self-love and they have standard, like I'm sure they'll be good. Like you can try and help them. It's not gonna work, babe. You're wasting your breath because they'll come to you for advice about a man. You'll give them advice. You'll tell them, stand up, girl. Like that man is insane. Because it's not like they're with good men either. These men will do them dirty as hell and they'll still be with that man. But then they'll come to you for advice. You'll give them advice. You'll give them fantastic advice. They'll go do the opposite and then come crying to you again about how they should have listened to you. It's genuinely the most exhausting shit ever. And if you know, you know. Like, I know it may sound like, oh, like maybe I'm the bad friend and I'm not there for them. But you guys, there's no helping. There's no helping. You really just they have to figure that shit out themselves. But until then, don't waste your breath. Don't be friends with those type of girls because they will do you dirty and they will put you in crazy ass situations like the one that my friend was in last night. And also, like, I'm the type of girl that like wants to like do shit with my friends. Like, I want to start a business. I want to like go to networking events with you. I want to apply for jobs together. I want to help practice interviewing each other. They're not about doing anything career related. They're not about literally doing anything that does not revolve around men or going out, or both. There's just no point in being friends with a person like that. They only bring you down and they only stress you out. and they only put you in shit situations. This is my PSA for women that are like that. Please work on your fucking self and have some damn decorum and standard. Jeez. It's exhausting to have a friend like that. Genuinely. It's not even a friend. Like, it's a one-sided friendship too, because you'll do all these things for them. You'll care for them. You'll advise them. Because, you know, like, when I'm in a friendship, like, I really fully, like, care for that person. So I'm going to want the best for them. And they'll take, and that's it. That's it. Just to do the same shit they've always been doing. So, yeah, this is your reminder to just be selective with the people that you surround yourself with. And when you see a red flag, even in friendship, don't ignore it, because it's there for a reason. And you're not a bitch for being selective about your friends and the people you surround yourself with. You're actually being smart, and it's the right thing to do. Oh yeah, be selective, and don't befriend weird ass women that'll put you in uncomfortable ass situations for some peen. It's nasty. Okay, that's all I have to say. I just really needed to rant and get that out of my system, because I've been trying to tell her, I told you, but I won't say it yet. Okay, bye guys.